Good evening, everybody. It's Steve with Real Progressives. We're going to talk about the cult of defeatism and inertia. The cult of defeatism and inertia has no basis. It has no compass. It has no direction. It has no action. It has no purpose. Its only purpose, as the cult of defeatism and inertia, is to get people an excuse to lose, to get people an excuse to do nothing, to give people an excuse to sit on the sidelines and sit there like any other critic and throw fucking tomatoes at the people that are trying to do something. The cult of defeatism and inertia is our greatest enemy. It's more great than the mainstream media. The cult of defeatism and inertia is worse than the Democratic Party. The cult of defeatism and inertia is worse than Donald Trump. The cult of inertia and defeatism is the single greatest threat your children and I and yourselves will face on the planet. There is no greater threat to your well-being than the cult of defeatism and inertia. For those of you who do not know what the word inertia is that nothingness. It's that do nothing. It's that inactionable giant nothing. It's that thing that sits there and watches someone die of cancer and says, oh, well, there's nothing I can do. The system's rigged. The elections are rigged. There's nothing I can do. So I sit back and I talk shit about the people trying to do something, because if I do that, then it makes my inertia, my lack of doing anything, feel like it's a something. But it's a ginormous nothing, and it is the single greatest threat to your lives. Because in order for us to make great change, it requires all of us, at least a ginormous 3% of us, to really legitimately stand up and fight. The cult of defeatism and actually narcissism and the cult of inertia are a religion for do-nothing people. It's a religion for people that feel like it's better to rule in hell than serve in heaven. It's the cult that literally leaves you stuck doing nothing. And if it's that hopeless and it's that helpless, then why are we not all just draining our veins? Why are we not all just hanging from the rafters? Why are we not all just eating a bullet? If it's that fucking hopeless, why are we even trying? Why the fuck do we allow people in the cult of defeatism and the cult of inertia and the cult of narcissism? Why do we allow them? Why do we allow them to sidetrack us? The very same methods that you would need to use to fix election reform, the very same methods that you would need to do to get any mass movement in America, per Chris Hedges, is a unified front of true revolutionaries ready to tell them, fuck you, we know what you did, and we know the truth, and we're ready for you to fucking fix it. So why is it okay to use that same methodology to bitch and moan about how fucking hopeless it is? And how we can't do anything unless, of course, we fix the elections. Oh, until we have fair elections, we can't do anything. Shut up. Don't teach anybody. Don't do anything. Fuck you. Fuck you. I've got small children that I would fucking bury around a lead in the chest to leave quite an impression on someone that fuck with them. I go to bat every fucking day for my children. And I am a non-violent, peace-loving, anti-war motherfucker. But I'm telling you right now, you fuck with my kids, and that, my friends, is the cult of defeatism, the cult of narcissism, and the cult of inertia. That very fucking cult. That is a cult. The cult of no solutions. The cult of fucking let's all fucking die. Let's all fucking say it's hopeless. Let's all flail about talking about shit that is above our pay grade because we don't understand it, so it must be a fucking cult. Can you dig it? Cult. Can you count, suckers? Can you count? If we rise up and demand, we will get. Let me explain this to you. With or without a rigged system, with or without the deep stupid, with or without Alex Jones conspiracy train riding through town, with or without ignoramuses telling the doers to shut up, sit down, and fucking eat your peas because it's hopeless. With or without the do-nothing, sit on your fucking thumb and fucking spin. With or without these fucking do-nothing cultists. The cult of idiocy, the cult of the Jews and the Rothschilds and the fucking deep stupid and all the other fucking sidelining shit. The cult that keeps us divided and feeling helpless and hopeless. The cult of negativity. The cult of every time I see someone trying to do something, I'm there to rain on it until it's stupid. Every time somebody tries to do something, I'm here to tell them they're stupid. It won't work. It'll fail. It sucks. It's stupid. That's another fucking cult. A cult of idiocy. A cult of defeatism. A cult of narcissism. A cult of fucking doom. It leads to the tar pits. It leads to extinction. It leads to fucking idiocy. The idiocracy. We can't do anything. It's all hopeless. Fuck it. Let's die. I will go down fighting to my very last breath. I will go down fighting to my very last breath. I will continue to teach people. I will continue to rally people. I will continue to tell people that it is possible. And I will continue to tell people to stand up and fight. I will not tell people, oh, it's all stupid. It's just a silly cult, because I'm not smart enough to understand. You know, the other cure to the cult of defeatism and the cult of narcissism and the cult of inertia is exposing people to knowledge and to turn your back on the defeatists and say, you know what? Let Jesse rob this train. We're going to have to take it from here. Your days of being useful are over. You've checked out. There's no value to you sitting there sidelining an entire movement away from doing shit to make life better. If you don't understand that the people rising up are the only way we'll get fixed elections, it's the only way that we'll get a new deal, and it's the only way we'll save lives. If you're keen to it for election fraud, but you're not keen to it to teach the people how to fucking do it to get a new deal, well, you're just a fucking moron. And you should be chastised, embarrassed, shamed for your fucking idiocy, because you are worse than the mainstream media. You are worse than Paul Ryan. You are worse than Mitch McConnell. If you feel that the cult of defeatism and the cult of narcissism and the cult of inertia somehow or another match head to head with the fucking people that love their children so goddamn much that they will fight for a new deal to save their fucking lives. If you feel somehow or another that the cult of defeatism somehow or another has any fucking merit, then it is time to fucking rise up and know your enemy. Motherfucker, know your enemy. Rage Against the Machine. Silence. Something about silence makes me sick, because silence can be violence, kind of like a slit wrist. You know what I'm talking about? We fucking speak truth to power. We speak truth to power. We do not allow the cult of defeatism to rob our children of a future. For those of you who understand what's going on, as a 1.3 trillion ton piece of ice breaks off the Antarctic, and you think that we've got time to bring down the system, to come up with a new form of system, and do it all in time for the climate to sustain us, if that's your MO, we're going to have to part ways, because we don't have anything in common at that point. If you think that the people that are dying today with cancer can wait for you to figure out how to get somebody some health care, because you're full of the cult of defeatism and full of the cult of narcissism and full of the cult of inertia, let me tell you something. My children deserve better than you. My children deserve a real champion. They deserve someone that even in defeat fights to the bitter end for their existence. I will go down with a fucking hell of fury. There will be no fucking whimpering out the door. I am telling you all, rise up. Rise up. Do not allow the cult of Alex Jones and his fucking minions to sideline you. Do not allow the cult of defeatism to sideline you. Do not allow the cult of inertia to sideline you. Do not allow the people that don't understand economics to fucking turn that around so that they can still look like they're smart. The dumb motherfucker that doesn't understand, but still feels the need to speak. That still feels the need to say things. You can only hide stupid for so long. When you open your mouth, you remove all doubt. My friends, your children's lives depend on you uniting to fight for a new deal. Your children's lives depend on you not allowing the cult of defeatism to sideline you from fighting for their lives. Your friends who are dying from diseases need your help. I can't be any more plain than this. I can't be any more disgusted by the cult of defeatism, the cult of inertia, and the cult of narcissism. Your children need you like never before. I look back at my parents and I love them to death, but damn it, they went along for the ride with this stuff. They didn't know any better. If you've ever heard me talk, you know better. You don't have that excuse going for you. You do not have that excuse. You know better, so that means you stand up and you fight. You rise up. And when you rise up, you do it with the force and conviction of someone that understands how the system is rigged. Not just that it's rigged, that you know how it's rigged. And you know how to unrig it. When the ignorant try to lead the intelligent to the tar pits, it's time to say, we're done. It's time for the intellectuals, the revolutionaries that don't just knee-jerk, that do their fact-checking, that understand truth and actually try to save lives. It's time for them. It's their time to rise. It's their time to take the fist in the air and lead the people to the promised land. But you're not going to do it with the cult of defeatism. You're not going to do it with the cult of narcissism. And you are not going to do it with the cult of inertia. I'm Steve Grumbine with Real Progressives, hoping you'll fight. Please donate to our Patreon account. Please check us out on YouTube. Please follow us on Twitter. And by all means, keep helping us fight. We got more of them, unfortunately, than there are of us. So we've got to work a little bit harder. Have a good night, everybody.